Alright, so this is a demonstrative review of Iris.Fall. And a demonstrative review where I show how the game is played while I give my review points of it. So let's go ahead and start with new game. No, actually let's go ahead and show off the select chapter option. Let's go ahead and go with the second chapter, in fact. And yeah, it's going to overwrite progress, so when if I do continue game again, it'll start me where I am here. But I can still go back to chapter select and pick whatever chapter I've already unlocked at that point. So this is a puzzle game. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly in black and white. You can see there is some blue in the sky out there. At least it looks kind of blue. Maybe not. There's some yellow in the doorway up there at the top of the screen. So there are bits of color in certain places, but it's mostly kind of grayscale looking. Mostly black and white. One of your special powers in that is if you see a book on the ground like this in particular, you can transform to being a shadow on the wall. So now I can just move into the shadow. In this case, I can grab this wheel standing here. That goes into my little pouch. And I can go back. Controls are pretty simple. You can use a keyboard or mouse, or keyboard and mouse, or a controller. I'm using a controller here, so Y button is going to bring up my inventory here, but I can't do anything with that. A button is, you interact with stuff most of the time. So what I've got here is I can use this wheel. Oh, there's a thing back there. I can use this wheel on this here. Just move it over like that. And to find inside, there's some wires here. So this game does a good job at teaching the puzzles, I guess. So you've only got like one possible thing you can do here, and it's going to solve the puzzle. So you get the idea right away. Oh, I need to create a circuit. That'll connect there. That's not going to work. But that will connect. Look at that. And then it just gets harder from there. So it's good at that. I don't recall exactly how I did this. Oh wait, I think it was just like that. But just to show, it does like, it has to connect a certain way. You see where the electricity traveled. Even though these are all connecting, technically, there could be like an electric connection there. It does show you how it operates, so you have to do it a certain way. I need to swap these. No, that's not going to work. Wow. Can't believe I don't remember how to do this. Like that? Yeah, there we go. So there's a bunch of puzzles that kind of work like that, where there's like multiple phases of it. Usually with like the abstract kind of puzzles, where you just have to like manipulate stuff. And yeah, there are some little cutscenes like that. As you see in the lower right, you can hold B to skip them if you want. If you just hold it all the way down, but I'm just not doing that. If we keep going back here, oh, here's another book. So I don't want to show off too much of this game, obviously, because it is a puzzle game, and the more I show off, the more puzzles I unavoidably have to give away the solution for. So we will venture into this one more room, do a little bit, and then back out to show off something else. So there is some interesting story to this game. It's up for interpretation, I suppose, because it doesn't give you a flat out this is what's going on answer at any point. But besides that, the abstract puzzles where you're just moving something on a screen, there are these kinds of puzzles where you're actually looking around and like manipulating the environment. So yeah, I did only have to play through this game all the way through once. As far as getting achievements goes, I could then use the chapter select to get whatever achievements I had been missing. And most of the achievements in this game are simply you get them from playing through each level, and then there's ones that are based on solving puzzles like on the first attempt. So yeah, there are a few. So yeah, there's 3 different kinds of achievements with this game. There are the simply beat the level, you get an achievement. There's solving certain puzzles, not every puzzle, but certain puzzles on like the first try, or in like minimal amount of moves. And then there are achievements that are based on just like doing something weird in the environment. There we go. See, I'm thinking about moving the shadow there to where it'll be most advantageous for me because I can do this with the book over here. And this, I think, was actually kind of underutilized in the world. That puzzle with the electric connections that I did, I had to use my shadow to get the piece to open the puzzle itself. But this one I just did actually had me use my shadow ability to I guess that wasn't really part of the puzzle solution. But yeah, I just think like the shadow ability was like underutilized in this game. It's kind of like the unique point of the game, and it's kind of underutilized in my opinion. Like they could have done more with it. Let me see, what am I doing here? I'm moving this staircase in different directions. As you can see, I press X to rotate it vertically, and then the A button to move it, like rotate it laterally, whatever. I do like these kinds of puzzles where it's like you have to think about where you are and where you're going. One little complaint I do have about the game is the character movement speed. So as you may notice, as I'm going from one place to the next, this is like the fastest I can move. And sometimes you're going back and forth between two objects to get something done. Like if I had to go back and forth between this switch and that switch to do something, not that you have to in this situation, but if I did have to, it's kind of annoying just how slow you kind of move sometimes. So let me see here, what am I doing with this? I gotta move it to where I can get up there. There we go. That's what I want. Shadow time. Oh, and those gears just stopped working. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah, and I'm following this cat too. Oh. Yeah, so I do kind of want to recommend this game. It's just that it's short. Like only 2 to 3 hours long. You know, that's assuming you get stuck on some of the puzzles. Because if you know the solutions, or have done them before, I imagine it would be a very quick game. Like maybe an hour or less. But that's if you know how to do the puzzles already. The good thing about puzzle games is that, you know, it gets you to think some. And that's kind of the entertainment value in it, is that it gets you to think about things. I do think that the puzzles, for the most part, weren't too obtuse or unintuitive. I think it's mostly clear what you're supposed to be doing most of the time. There are just like 2 puzzles in the game that I had no idea what I was supposed to do. One of them, in fact, there's this one puzzle where you have to cover eyes in a certain order, and I have no idea why the order is what it is. Like, I don't know how I was supposed to figure it out other than the random trial and error solution that I found. But that was just like one puzzle there. But for the most part, it's pretty clear what you're supposed to be doing, so that's all good. And I think that is the most I can show. I don't want to give off, like I said, too much of the game. Another good thing is that none of the puzzles have any like fail states per se. The one you saw with like the electric wire connections, you can technically not find the right solution, but it never like creates a fail state where you have to like restart from further back or anything like that. So yeah, there's never like a game over state or anything if you mess something up and have to like re-watch a scene or anything like that. So that's all good. Let's see, you got your regular good video options. Wait, what was that? Adjust the price so you can see all 6 girls. I can't see any. I can barely see 3 faded figures on the right side, actually. That is really weird. I was playing without all the brightness on, but I thought it was just fine. Simple audio option, just all volume. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu here. There is a bit of a long time on the fade there. That's very much like, let's see how soon I can start. There we go. I can start moving. That was as soon as I could start moving. Gameplay, like I said, here we go. You can change your controls. When you start the game up the first time, it is default to mouse and keyboard, so you cannot operate the menus until you use your mouse and keyboard to come in here and change it to gamepad if you want to use a gamepad. Again, I don't know what hints are. I played with them on. I didn't really feel like the game gave me hints per se, so I don't know what that's supposed to be. And yeah, again, chapter select, new game, continue, all good stuff. let's go ahead and just start the new game just so you can see the intro to the story, I guess. Like again, the story is kind of mysterious. It's not even clear. Oh yeah, there's no spoken dialogue or anything. I don't even know if there's text anywhere that I can remember. But yeah, the cutscenes do have like these hand-drawn still images. There's some minimal animation going on, like her squinting her eyes there, and like those are like special effects around the images to make them all wavy. But yeah, movement, as you may see here, that actually made more sense to me now that I've seen the ending. So yeah, I've only watched this once before. So, like I said, it starts out with you following this cat. And the animation is minimal, as you can see. It's kind of like still shots that just go around like this. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say about the game. I guess I do recommend it. It's a fun game, good puzzle game. I didn't get frustrated too much or anything in it. It felt good to solve the puzzles here. But yeah, if you have any questions about the game, go ahead and ask in the comments below. If you thought this review was helpful, please give the video a like and share it with someone. And then, if you're not already subscribed, you can subscribe to see when the next video is going to come out. This is October, so I do have a new video coming out every week for this month. I hope to make it every week going forward, but that all depends on how much time I have. As this is not my job. This is just a hobby thing I'm doing. So yeah, as you can see, there was some color in the world, and it just turned black and white from something. Although there is still some color with like lighting in some parts, like that yellow light right up there. I guess that's about it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.